The Theory of the Originals, How It Began, Part 3. Who are the originals? In Part 1, we asked the question, who am I? And we came to the conclusion that we are far more than this physical vessel of a representation of who we truly are. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. In Part 2, we asked the question, where am I? And several different theories were brought up, from simulation all the way to consciousness or electric theory. Even chaos theory was brought up. But one thing that they all had in common is intelligent design. Just as we ask ourselves in Part 1, who am I? And where am I in Part 2? Both have a thread of commonality to it, and that is intelligent design. We have some say-so in the trajectory by our perspective on how we view things that happen to us in our daily lives. This place is malleable and fluid. Who are the originals? The originals are androgynous, angelic beings. They were there at the foundation and creation of all things created, cheering and clapping with bated breath, excited for the expansion they were about to encounter, getting to know self. They're divine beings who are able to come into this realm, split themselves in half, and still be two whole beings, able to do all things. They're divine and sovereign, unique in every single way. If we were to follow back our lineage all the way back to the beginning, I guarantee you we were each of the lineage of an original. Where were the originals before incarnating on this realm? Well, I imagine it to be a place of infinite possibilities and probabilities and limitless potential of growth. With that being said, why would they create or take part in cheering and clapping to create anything less than the status or stature that they already are? Why would they go into a place willingly that is not an equivalent or better than the realm in which they inhabit? There has to be a divine purpose, a soul growth expansion for them, a gain for them to achieve by having this introspection experience go on in a realm such as this. The originals were pure beyond pure. Their hearts knew nothing but unconditional love. They were unlimited, unfettered, and undeterred. They were able to do all things. They knew who they were and what they were able to do. They came into this perfect creation that was perfected as they cheered and clapped to have a physical incarnation experience, something that they did not know anything of and surely did want to have the growth from said experience. The originals knew that they were a constant flow of energy that needed to go through every point in the rainbow from root to crown, always creating and manifesting what is coming into their near future, keeping the balance between spiritual and physical perfectly in balance, never forgetting the foundation of where they had come from. They came in fully developed, fully aware of their divinity, fully aware of their sovereignty, uniqueness, and all that they were able to do. When they took physical form, they were able to expand and experience things that they had never done before. As in everything, there's a constant evolution, constant growth, and it was no different for the originals. Ever evolving, knowing self, growing, and learning more about one another and more about unconditional love. Everything stems from the root of love. We evolve consciously or have soul extension according to how we handle each experience. When the experience is resolved or involves love, the growth is exponential. The originals were there as this realm of perfection was created. They had never had a physical experience and were excited to expand from the growth this encounter would bring. The five senses intensified in this realm of incarnation was much anticipated. They are fully aware of being infinite, and growth, evolution, and love creates enormous potential of self-expansion. Being first came with great responsibility, and the originals took this responsibility very seriously. The originals entered whole, knowing their divinity, knowing they're infinite, and knowing all things that they can do. After entering, they divided into two whole beings. The one androgynous being divided into two, one male and one female. This place is designed for self-expression, and having a physical body to express touch, taste, sound, smell, and sight in a way they had never done before. This opened the realm for others to enter through procreation. The being entered the realm would divide in the womb and be born twins. The originals would grow from loving and nurturing and providing all for the new arrival. The biggest responsibility for the original would be to teach each being entering all the originals came in already knowing, so they could afford and interact with this realm in its entirety to get a full expansion and soul growth from the experience. Imagine, if you will, that you're one of the 35 originals. You're standing there at the vortex, the doorway into this created realm that you have much anticipated entering. In this realm, you not only have the spiritual experience that you have afforded your entire being as an infinite being, but there's also a physical aspect to it. You will incarnate into a physical body. You will feel tangible material items around you. These things are completely new to you. Think about the excitement that you would have standing in that doorway, readying yourself to enter into such a perfect design where anything and everything is possible. In the realm of physical manifestation, the original has entered into the created realm of the limitless. Both paradigms, spiritual and physical manifestation, is available to them. A perfect balance to be had in this dual nature paradigm. The original will never forget their identity as they came in fully aware. They took part in creating this realm and know if it is created, then it is false. All that is true is self. Expansion and evolution from each experience is for growth. This original being is excited and ready to absorb all this perfect realm has to offer. And then we witness the split. The androgynous being, the divine sovereign that came in, the original, divided itself into two equal portions. First there was one, then it split itself into two. As it split itself into two, both light beings, it then became male and female. There they were, both of them, divided equally, both fully aware of their divinity, sovereignty, and all that they are 100%. The originals, when they came in and from the beginning, have had spiritual vision. They've seen things in lights of color, swirling about, auric fields that surround objects, items, planets, or whatever is in existence. They did not see things in solid matter. They seen things in light form, in shapes, as it came into being. This was a natural state of being for the originals. So when they took on physicality, when the physical realm became plain to them, it was quite a surprise. Now, we know that they can toggle back and forth, flowing from spirit to physical body at any time at the speed of thought. They spoke to one another through thought. They also could move at the speed of thought. They were fully intact and divine in all ways. They came in fully awake, aware, and pure. So we're talking about a spiritual, divine, sovereign being that came into a realm where we can create physical matter and also have a spiritual existence, having a double nature, so to speak. We think of duality as something completely different. What if duality in truth was being able to manifest and have a physical experience, all the while being a spiritual being? When the originals took physical form and used their physical eyes, this is something that I would imagine that they would be looking at. A paradise that is so absolutely perfect, everything perfectly groomed, nothing needed tended to. This place had a terrarium effect to it, therefore everything was taken care of without anybody having to do anything for it. Everything was self-maintained. The originals were able to manifest, create, as soon as they had a thought. They were able to do all things. They were learning how to navigate around in this physical vessel, enjoying every moment of it. Understanding that they came from a spiritual realm, and this is the first time having a physical experience, is quite astounding to wrap our mind around. And I hope that this episode has helped you get an idea on the theory of the originals.